G'day legends. In this episode of GenXplorers, we show you our top 10 destinations of Sri Lanka. Starting our list today at number 10 is Sri Lanka's capital city, Colombo. With its eclectic mix of ancient markets and modern high-rises, it's the perfect mix to just wander around the city by foot, or like we did, hire a tuk-tuk and drive around and test your abilities in the traffic. And while in Colombo, do not miss the largest market in Colombo, Peta Markets. And another awesome feature of Colombo is its budget-friendly 4- and 5-star hotels. Here we are at the Grand Bell where we stayed, and on the 27th floor there was an infinity pool and rooftop bar for your enjoyment. At number 9, we have the seaside peninsula of Kalpitya. Traditionally known as a kitesurfing destination, recently it is becoming more popular with tourists with whale watching, dolphin watching, and just overall secluded beaches with nobody on them. We stayed at the magnificent Kitesurf Lanka, and it was an amazing mix of tents and cabins, but the biggest bonus of this area is the sunsets, with the sun sinking into the ocean every day. At number 8 today, we have the world famous Hikaduwa. Situated just 2 hours south of Colombo, it is very popular on weekends and public holidays with the Colomban locals. As you can see through the footage now, the beautiful turquoise beaches, secluded and safe to swim at, is one of the biggest bonuses. We were here in July, which is off season for Hikaduwa. It's apparently supposed to rain a fair bit, but we didn't get any rain the time we were there. It's probably the best time of year to come because the accommodation is dramatically cheaper and there's no one on the beaches like there is during the peak season. The Hikaduwa town itself has a real backpacking vibe. There appears to be a lot of low-cost accommodation in the main streets, with more your 5-star accommodation heading out further towards the outer beaches. In at number 7, again another beachside village, this one Tangalle, situated on Sri Lanka's south coast. It is a stunning port village with magnificent beaches surrounding the entire area. And again, in July it is off season in Tangalle, and the whole time we were here we didn't even see another tourist in the 2 nights that we stayed here. There was amazing markets in the village with fruits from all over Sri Lanka. And here we are doing a quick whip around Tangalle beachside, and as you can see there is absolutely nobody sitting in the hotels or the cafes on the beach, which are normally packed during the season, which is around January to May. So the best time to come here is definitely off season if you want to get the beach to yourself. And we finally move away from the beaches to check out our number 6, Sigiriya Rock. Up in the highlands of Sri Lanka, Sigiriya Rock was a fortress palace which was built in around the 500 AD. Coming in at number 5 today, we have the east coast seaside town of Trincomalee. Its stunning beaches and turquoise blue waters were a serious surprise to what we were expecting to find over in this part of the country. Famous for whale watching, it also has some of the most amazing temples that I came across in Sri Lanka. Trincomalee Kovil was on a headland overlooking the whole of Trincomalee. This amazingly colourful Hindu temple was built in the 6th century and is definitely a highlight of our visit to Trincomalee. Number 4 is the Nine Arches Bridge, situated just outside the beautiful town of Ella. This stunning bridge connects two mountains as a railway line between Ella and the rest of the country. Here we are getting into the pointy end of the countdown, and at number 3 we have Marissa and Weligama on the south coast of Sri Lanka. Again, in July it is off season and apparently monsoon season, but we only had some rain at night, so don't be deterred coming here in the off season. The food we found was amazing local specialities, and we have spent with many times with locals and had an absolute amazing time. And we played a little bit of cricket with them as well. And number 2 on our list today is Galle Fort. This fort was built in 1588 by the Portuguese and was later overthrown by the Dutch in the 17th century. And they held that until 1796, when the British invaded and took over the fort, all the way up until 1948, when Sri Lanka gained independence. And here we are driving around inside Galle Fort in our tuk-tuk, which we drove around Sri Lanka in. The roads were a little bit narrow in certain areas, but there was no real problems with the walking traffic. One of the highlights of our whole trip of Sri Lanka was our accommodation in the Galle Fort. We stayed at Peddler 62 and it was just an amazing location. They also showed us how to make the famous Sri Lankan hoppers, which is a breakfast delicacy done with batter, like a pancake, with an egg. And another highlight of Galle Fort is their restaurants. A lot of seafood restaurants serving up some amazing local seafood, which we just could not resist. And now it's time to release the number 1 of the GenXplorers top 10 destinations. Arugam Bay. Situated on the southeast corner of Sri Lanka, this amazing location has been a secret surfing spot for decades. And between May and September, it is one of the most popular surfing destinations in the world. And during July when we were there, it is peak season and it was extremely busy. So if you are thinking of coming to this area, you will need to book accommodation in advance. Most nights there are parties on the beach with DJs and also in the clubs. I said, do you speak my language? He just smiled and gave me a rich mind's and rage. And he said, do you come from an island there? And if nightlife is not your scene, just get out and about and you will see amazing wildlife. We saw crocodiles, elephants, flamingos, monkeys, and pretty much all the other wildlife that is available in Sri Lanka is around the Arugam Bay area.
I thought I'd take this chance to kind of describe a little bit of what driving the tuk-tuk around Sri Lanka's like. Well, you know, it's like a cross between a dodgem car and a lawnmower for a start, and you're pretty much supposed to be doing 40 kilometres an hour, give or take 15 kilometres an hour occasionally, but yeah, the biggest problem you really have is the buses. Most of the cars, they're pretty mad, but the buses and the trucks, I think the buses are worse. The trucks are marginally better. I'm not sure why they want to, on the buses, they want to kill everybody on the bus. But as a tuk-tuk driver, you really don't get much right of way. So you've got to be pretty careful. You can't really rush it. You want to slow down. They'll overtake you, and then they'll slam the brakes on to let someone off. So it's pretty crazy, and you've got to be aware of that. And if you're aware of that, you'll be reasonably safe. When you do overtake, you kind of give the person in front a bit of a beep, so you let them know, and they kind of come. But you don't do it when you see a big bus coming in the other direction, because he doesn't give a shit. He will just run you down like a cat. Like they just don't care. So that's a bit of a breakdown halfway through our trip, and we'll talk to you again when we get closer to Tangalle.